Okay. All right. Thank you, Ashley. Um, so there's a lot of new faces. There are people that I haven't really chatted with. So just introduce myself really quickly. My name is Stacy. Um, I am an empty nester, and next year I'm going to be 50. So this is like life changing for me, literally, because I've taken on something completely new, something totally out of my element. And next week will be my 1 year anniversary. So anybody that I have had constant interaction with, you guys know, like I have literally changed completely. And it has just been an incredible journey. So I'm a 12K leader. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I can say that. And I have an amazing team, and this tribe is just unbelievable. But that's not why we're here. So just I can get off on a tangent. But I chose the topic I did because of the irony of it, because I am an overthinker. I worry about everything. I worry what everybody thinks about me all the time. I worry if people are judging me, if they're not happy with me, if I've made somebody upset, to people I don't even know. Like I worry about the most ridiculous things. I rewrote my notes 4 times for you guys because I wanted it to be just right. And guess what? I'm probably just going to jabber on and on and on. And it's not going to matter that I rewrote the notes 4 times because whatever comes out is what's coming out. And so that's why the fact that we put so much pressure on ourselves for other people's opinions is crazy. And so my past life has just been a life full of comparison, self doubt, fears, and insecurities. I have dealt with eating disorders, a very narcissistic ex husband, mental abuse, binge eating, just so many different things. And the thing that is so different here is that I get to share my story and nobody judges me for sharing my story. Um, and I think that's what we have to overcome. We have to be focused on how am I growing from this? How am I going to level up or change because of the things that I'm talking about or the things that I'm doing for myself, and get out of that perfectionist thinking of what's everyone else thinking about what I just did. That's the part that hurts us so much, and it stops us from progressing and moving forward all of the time. And so to push past these fears, I had to get really real with myself, and I had to have a really good heart to heart with Shay. And I love my heart to hearts with Shay because I always learn and glean so much. So just remember to reach out to your upline, to your leader, to your side sisters, to your team. It's always really good because sometimes when you say things out loud to somebody else, it's like, oh, duh, this is not the right perspective that I need to have. But I have taken the time since I have been home in March to really, sorry, I have had a runny nose and my nose itches right now. So, anyway, I've taken the time to really focus in on self development. That has been a huge game changer for me. Podcasts that are inspirational, um, tons and tons of Audible books that I can listen to while I'm doing other things that I can just put on play and just on repeat, have them filling my mind with good thoughts and different thoughts than if I were to have silence and to just let my mind wander, because I tend to go into that perfectionist thinking mode of what's everyone else thinking instead of how can I grow and how can I learn and do better and be better. And so I created a mantra for myself that I repeat multiple times a day. It's on my screensaver, so every time I pick up my phone, I can see it. That's been huge for me. That I'm welcoming abundance into my life, that I know my worth and I remember my worth, and that I have the ability to help other people. Is the gist of my mantra, and everybody should create something that works for them and where they are, because mine has changed over the last 6 months as I've grown. The next thing that I did was I made a list of my positive attributes, the things that I like about myself, the things that people say are good, but I always try to dismiss them. I put them in that positive attribute list because I want to believe in them and I want to give them worth. And so there's that. And then I use my notes app and I do my daily gratitude and my affirmations for the week that I'm focusing in on there. That way I can go to them anytime that I start to feel disconnected from my goals. I go in and I read them, and I read them out loud. And my goal is to read them until I believe what's being said, what I'm saying. I need to believe the words. I need to see the words. I need to see those things happening in order to create change. And that's, it's easy to just say, I know my worth, but do you know your worth? Feel it. Feel it in your heart that you know that you have good worth, that you are worth so much more. The next thing was my vision board. And this has changed as I've been able to cross things off of my list, and they've also progressed. And I want to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But then the other thing is to write out your why. And this also has evolved and changed over the course of the year, but to constantly be writing out your why and where you're at, and revamp your fives list. At first I thought, who wants to listen to me? I don't have kids at home. I don't have toddlers to entertain anybody when I put on the camera, anything like that. And it was a very big limiting belief that I had nothing to offer. And so when you go after what your fives lists are, you got to look at then again your positive attributes and the things that you're good at and the things that you want to claim that you're good at, that you want to claim for your life, that you're a 200K team, or that you're welcoming and excited for new and unexpected promoters or customers to get in your inbox daily. And so, when I talk about that this is life changing, it's not just the 3-step system that's been life changing. It's the whole backside of this. It's that back office that's been life changing. It's been the true, real self development, not posting a quote and saying you did self development for the day, but you're actually reading it and you're learning from it and you're applying it to your life. And I have taken Shay's advice and very intentionally and diligently worked to stomp out my inner mean girl, to push past my fears, to grow past the things that I didn't think that I was capable of. And we can do that by creating a new mindset, by claiming a new life, claiming what you want. I had to crush out and just get rid of the old built up Stacy of who I thought I was, and I had to build who I wanted to be. I had to create a foundation that made sense for me now. And when we're running a business, that's going to be part of your foundation is what are you investing into your business? What are you investing into yourself? What are you investing into your customers? Are you serving them every day? Are you serving yourself? These are all really important questions to be asking yourself, and to keep everything in perspective, to be authentic, to be genuine. And really to become vulnerable. I have cried on so many of my lives now. It's kind of ridiculous. But at the same time, I've connected with so many people who have been afraid to share their story, even if just a little tiny bit of what I shared was part of their story. It empowered them, it gave them fire, it made them realize they weren't alone. So we have to constantly be thinking, what am I sharing that's connecting me to the audience that I want to grow? It's not just about getting the post up or talking about the product. It's about where I was a year ago and how I talk about the mental health and the changes that it's made in my life to be able to go from where I was scared and afraid to where I'm okay with doing my lives, where I'm okay with doing my reels and not feeling judged. Today I did my reel for my shake. I just did it for fun with the cartoon princess filter, because if I can make somebody laugh on a Monday morning, I'm connecting. And that's really what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to create a connection. Oh, I'm going to go watch Stacy's reel. I wonder if she's doing something funny. That's where I can grow a connection. I would love to be able to be glamorous and beautiful. It's not where I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable making somebody laugh. And so that's where I'm focusing, because I've learned that that's what makes me happy, is to get a smile out of somebody, or someone to pop into my inbox and say, hey, thanks for making my Monday morning a little bit lighter. Like, that's what I want, because my platform is mental health. So find your platform, find your brand. I'm taking a branding class right now. When I get done with it, I'll do a live on that, in Audacious Babes, or together, Audacious Together. But find what you want people to, when they Google your name, what do you want to be known for? My platform, mental health, anxiety, depression, things that I'm talking about, good gut health being linked to mental health. Those are the things I want people to relate to me when they see my name. And so think about what you want to do. That's part of your fives. That's part of your why. And we have to let go of perfectionism. And that's so hard for me, so hard. And that's part of anxiety. You want everything on the outside to look perfect. That is part of the anxiety and the depression, so that nobody questions you, nobody breaks down your shell. And so we have to become vulnerable. We have to push past that and be our authentic, genuine selves all the time. And so the other part of that is to find your tribe. And this is the connecting piece. We were talking about this in our leadership chat today, about how we're getting those, the engagement and the likes. And it's by creating that basis of what your platform is that you're focused on. Ashley weightlifts. And that is a good connecting piece for her. That's a great way to link to people. She's also started a podcast, so that's another great way for her to link to people. Single moms, pushing through adversity, pushing through parent death. Like, those are all really good things. Sorry, Ashley, for calling you out. I just can see you. And so it was like, hey, I'm just going to use you as an example. And we've become really close. And I love that. Kristen, same thing. She works in the medical field, but she wants out. That's huge. That's a huge thing. Creating freedoms, creating scheduling freedoms, time freedoms, be there for your teenagers, the adversities that she's been through. I have chills. There's just so many great things here, guys, that don't limit yourself in your thinking, that you have nothing to offer or create a platform from. When you're finding your tribe, those are the people that are getting into your inbox, not this tribe. Obviously, we're here. It's the people that we want to connect with. Brené Brown, Daring to Lead, amazing book. She says, true belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. So when we accept who we are and we accept our flaws, then we're going to find our tribe. Those people are going to come to us, and they're going to want more from us, because we have something to help grow them and help push them to become their best self. And it's terrifying. The first time I ever talked about my past marriage terrified me, but I did it, and it was so empowering, and it just lifted one more brick off my shoulder. And I challenge you guys to do that. And I can't even believe that I'm here challenging you, because this is something someone would say to me and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can never do that. But I'm pushing those boundaries. I wanted to be brave. That's my word this year. I wanted to be brave. And that is something I have worked really hard at since we had that Zoom about vision boards in the early spring, late winter, with Jess and Shay, and we broke off into our own tribe. Like, I wanted more, I wanted growth. And that is really what I focused on this year. And when we always play it safe, we aren't growing. We are stopping ourselves from getting new lessons in life and pushing past them and growing past them. Jess did a live today, and she talked about failing our way forward. And that just resonated with me so strongly, because we have to learn to be okay with our failures. We have to learn to be okay with the season that we're in and the things that are being handed to us. And then we have to grow from them. And then we can look back and go, whew, we did it. There was a time, Clint and I were laughing about this the other day. And at the time we weren't laughing, but we had $20 to our name. We needed to feed and get groceries for 4 kids. And with $20, are you kidding me? That wasn't that long ago. And I don't even know how I was able to make meals for 7 days with that $20 worth of groceries. But I did a post about that, and it was very vulnerable, where you have to count the slices of bread to know how many sandwiches you're going to make, and you have to count how many eggs everyone's going to get so you make sure you have enough for breakfast. Those are things that are vulnerable, but they're authentic and people can relate to them. Um, and then the last thing I really want to talk about, just really quickly, because I tend to ramble, is just to be your own friend. Like yourself, learn to be good with who you are and to love yourself. Um, the tough reality is that not everyone is going to like you, like what you have to say, like your opinions. And I have a really hard time with that. I want everybody to like me. I want everybody to like what I share. And that's not going to happen. It's unrealistic. And that is something I had to grow past. And I had to just be okay with putting it out there anyway. So I just want you guys to remember this: no one is you, no one can do you like you. No one has your same experiences. So be you and be it authentically. And if you have a vision for your future self and your future life, it's time for you to take action. Put your goal at the top, reverse engineer it, and then break it down into small, bite sized daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual pieces that you can then build to that 5-year plan. I have a problem with seeing a vision and then I just sit and I worry about the vision. And that's the only way I could do that, is to reverse engineer my goals and to break them down backwards. And then as I've leveled up, reach out, do a little bit more. One of the biggest obstacles that I had to overcome in September for me personally was reels. I was so worried about them not being perfect and not being good enough or enjoyable or likable that I, oh my gosh, I couldn't get past it, and I finally just had to do it, and now I'm loving them and they're so much fun. So I'm encouraging you guys, please do things that make you feel uncomfortable. I never thought I would say these words. Never in my life would I have thought I would say these words, but they are so empowering. Oh my gosh, I wish I could just meet every single one of you and talk to you and be a part of your lives daily, because it's just such a change, and literally have head to toe goosebumps and chills, because my life is completely different because of Shay. Like literally watching her, seeing that positivity, seeing that joy, and I had to have it. And every single one of us can have it, and that is the amazing thing about it, is that every single one of us can have it, you guys. We don't have to be sad, we don't have to be afraid of our trackers, we don't have to be afraid of our personal volume, we don't have to be afraid of any of that. What we have to do is to reach out to the people that need us, share our stories, share what we have to offer, and they will come to us when it's time. That is the key, is they will come to us when it's time. Even if you have a bleak, dark month, they're going to be waiting for you. I promise you that, because I had that darkness, and we're growing and we're changing and we're moving and progressing. And it's okay if we get in that season of stillness. Look around and see what needs to change and why you're in that stillness. It, it's mind blowing. This whole thing has been mind blowing to me. And I can't believe next week I celebrate a year being here. So thank you. Thank every one of you for helping me grow and become this Stacy, the one I'm supposed to be. And I pray that every one of you can be your true you. And that's what I have. Love you.